Welcome back, guys. Episode 2. Let's just dive straight into it. First up, I've got to try and actually raise the front of this bike up so I can access all of the broken parts, the radiator, anything else on the front, and there's no way I can do it when it's sitting flat on the base of this ramp. And the only thing I've got to use is a couple of scissor jacks, so good luck. Okay, so now I can access this front end, which means I can strip all of this off. Both radiators have got to come off. I've got to check and see if the fan or anything behind the radiators is damaged. I'm hoping not, because on my previous V2s, I've done fan deletes. Whereas on this one, I'm gonna keep the fan. Just a little bit of safe precautions. It's my bike. It's just something I want to do. I want to be able to sit in the pits and just keep the bike cool at the end of a session. So let's do it. So these radiators are well and truly screwed. Like, look at the bottom of that. That's been twisted in like 3 different planes. Yeah, look how much of a twist that's got. The cap is fully twisted around. I'm just hoping that the top of the engine there is still okay, because if that's bent, I am in a world of pain. Last thing I want to do is actually do any real needed engine work on this bike other than performance mods. The bottom radiator is even worse. The bottom radiator's like had the wheel go straight into this side of it. It's been bent all the way back. I'm just hoping that the fan that sits in behind it is recoverable, because I really actually want to keep the fan on this bike. Even though I'm going to put a new exhaust on it, I want to be able to maintain the fan there. So let's get this stripped down. So these radiators are designed to go off as one complete dual setup unit, both in the same housing. But as you'll see, it's not that easy when it's all broken. And the first problem is getting all these bits of plastic untangled with everything else they're not supposed to be tangled with. And then you can see the top of the radiator cap has actually compressed some of the pipes down, so I can't get those off without straightening up the radiator cap first. And then I've got to try and get to all the bolts which have been damaged in the crash. It's at this point where I just start getting aggressive with it, just to try and actually rip it apart without damaging anything else. And then finally, one off. So I think we've got some good news. The front of the engine actually looks, I'm thinking like it's okay. There's a bit of a graze just here. I think the mounts for the radiator are still okay up the top there. There's a bit of oil or grease, or it could just be radiator residue just on there. But generally, I'm thinking that head cap actually looks okay. So that's a bonus. The fan, you can see down there, still looks like it's probably okay. I did hear it running when we tried the ignition the other day, so that's probably a good sign. Let's try and get this bottom radiator off now. One bolt, literally one bolt holding it on, and I can't get to it. Crazy. And it's off. All done. So much better that I can see everything now. I'm going to take the fan off anyway, because let's face it, we're putting a new exhaust on it, and I want to be able to start with a clean slate. I need to be able to clean this whole engine up as well and just inspect in behind it. I'm pretty sure the heads are okay. I'm going to change tact a little bit now though. I'm going to strip this front wheel down, and I'm going to take it over to Motor Garage and see if it's like how much straightening it needs to do, because hypothetically, if I fix that wheel for $250, $300, I could sell the complete set, rear wheel and front wheel, for probably $2.5 grand. Or I can sell them damaged for maybe about $1,800 total. So I'm just gonna check it anyway, get these tires off, because I can sell these tires for another 200 bucks. And it gives us a chance to go and annoy Brett at Motor Garage as well. So we'll pick up some donuts on the way. Let's do it. check out these discs. These are just horrible. Look how bent that is, so bad. This one just looks like it's gone through a merry-go-round. Look at it, it is destroyed. All right, let's do this.
Okay, let's do it. Oh, that's bad. Look at that.
If you're a man, you
That
would have bought
is-
a German bike.
How bad is that wheel? It's shocking. It's definitely not salvageable. Like it's actually like it's
That-
bent from the hub, I think.
It doesn't matter. Look at that whack. You won't fix that.
Yeah, I think it's bent.
And then it's twisted.
I think it's not even just like even if you straighten those edges, it still
It
feels
looks
it's
like a
bent.
ham and pineapple pizza.
But pineapple's supposed to be on a pizza.
It is. It's the only way. And if you don't put pineapple on a pizza, you should be deported from the country.
Especially if you're like a fake Italian chef.
Fake Italian chef, yep.
Definitely.
Yep.
Well,
They can't cook a steak.
they can't cook a steak. Maybe someone we know. Yeah, that's toast. That's all right. New wheels. Well, you win some, you lose some. I'm definitely up for new wheels now, but let's head back to the garage and keep stripping this baby apart.
So quick update on the strip down. In less than 5 minutes work, I've probably got around about $500 of eBayable stuff. I'll show you. So I've got the tail light, which looks like it just needs a clean. I've got the stand, which looks perfect as well. And I've got the rear fairing, although it's got a slight crack in it. I reckon that's about 195. That's 195, and that's about 140. So yeah, 520 to 560 somewhere. That's good money. On the other side of things, our rubbish pile is quickly growing. Let's take a look. So I've just had another delivery turn up in the mail literally 5 minutes ago. I'm hoping it's what I think it is, because it could be the game changer. It could be the thing that saves me probably at least a couple of $1,000s. Let's check it out. Okay, Olin's fork feet, $250. I found them on Facebook Marketplace, local in Australia, which is like unheard of. They come with the bolts, they come with pretty much everything. Pretty sure they even come with some Olin stickers, so that would be pretty cool. And that's gonna save me a bundle because my forks are obviously destroyed in the crash, or when I bought the bike. I couldn't really salvage much of them, but I'm gonna need more than just fork feet. And I've got another box which just arrived as well. Let's check out what's in that. Outer tubes. So Olin's outer tubes. Well, they're not Olin's, they're off-market outer tubes, but these are the same color and they should be a direct fit for the Bayliss. So now we've got outer tubes, lower tubes, which I think are still straight on the existing forks, although I'll have to check that. We've got lower feet, We've got upper motors. Now I just need inserts. So maybe Bimotor, YSS, something like that. I'm gonna have to have inserts, and then we should be able to help build up the front end. There's one more piece that I got as well off eBay. And here it is. I was lucky enough to find a lower triple from a 1299, which again should be a direct fit to one of these. I've done it in the past before by switching out a 1299 lower triple, so there should be no reason why this doesn't work. It's even got the steering stop still in place. There's absolutely no brakes. I picked this up for, I think, $450. So 450, 250, that's 600. Plus the cost of those lower forks. That was under $1,000 total for this basically a new fork setup. By the time I put some new fork inners, some race inners into it, there's about another $1,000. So $2,000 and I've got a full race setup, versus if I'd bought something like this off eBay, this ad I've got here, that's about $2,500, and that's still just a stock setup. So for $2,000, I'm gonna have a race setup, much better. So we're gonna do a full episode on building up the front end of this bike, forks, top triple, maybe even the radiators at the same time. But right now, I just wanna focus on these. These are all of the deletes. There's 4 separate deletes for this bike. I'm gonna try and put them all on now. I get them all from the same place. It's an eBay store called Rated R Parts. I'll see if I can find the link, I'll put it up here. The guy's awesome. He even messages you individually if his parts aren't in stock, but he can get them. So Smart Moto is the brand. There's heaps of them. AIS delete, stand delete, evap delete, something else. Let's do it. So first up, I'm just gonna trace the wire back where it came from the stand and just plug in the stand delete. Super, super simple. And then I'm gonna start working on the evap canister. This is for the evaporative air. We can bypass this whole thing just by unplugging it, plugging the hoses. About another ½ kilo you're gonna drop off the bike that you just don't need. And then I'm just gonna insert the connector, the block off plug, onto this purge valve and just tie that up out of the way with a zip tie. So for anyone that hasn't seen an AIS delete done before, just on the back cylinder, just here, is this faceplate here with the pipe coming out of it. You want to pull that faceplate off and disconnect that pipe. And you're going to pull that pipe through under the airbox. And then on the other side, on the front cylinder, you want to pull this whole section off the front here, and then the front cylinder, that same faceplate will be on this side. Pull both faceplates off and replace them with what's in the pack. So replace them with these 2 faceplates and the screws that are provided. And then there's a little electrical block off switch here. Just under the airbox, directly under the airbox, it's plugged in. So you unplug it, plug the switch in, and then you need to block off the hole in the airbox with the little black bung that's provided. Super simple. So that's about it for the simple deletes. Pretty soon, once I get the wheels, I'll be able to put the front together, the new suspension together, and be able to access the exhaust and redo the exhaust. But until then, I'm gonna see what else has arrived in the boxes, because we might be able to do some more work on the front end in the meantime. I'm pretty sure this box, this is a front stay. Well, I've just made my first stuff up. This is actually for a 1299 or an 1199. I thought it would be generic. I thought it would be the same, but it's not. These 3 holes in the back here do not line up to a modern dash, only the older dashes. So it's back in the box. I'll try and recoup what I can. Luckily, it didn't cost me much because I bought it cheap on eBay anyway. And that's probably a good place to stop. We've got a fair bit done. We've got some deletes done. We've got some more boxes unboxed, and we've got a bunch more stuff coming. This is proving to be a pretty expensive build, but it's going to be epic when it's finished. If you like this type of thing, hit the subscribe, hit the like. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.